Hi, I'm Jeremy Brown, and I have a magic power. I think it's because the comet that passed overhead on the day I was born. I asked Mr. Zelinsky, my science teacher, if comets passing overhead on the day you were born could curse you or give you magic powers. He stared at me like he was rethinking all of the choices he made in his life that got him to that point, but I still think it was the comet. Anyway, if I take a picture, and it's got to be a real picture, like with the retro camera my dad got me, not a digital photo, I can shake it real hard and create a copy of whatever I took a picture of. If I shake it real hard again, the copy disappears. If it's a person, it'll even act like them, mostly, though it seems like it only acts like the way I think they act. So it's not perfect or anything. They don't know all the stuff that the real person knows. The people I copy don't have to do exactly what I say, but I can usually convince them to. I understand how they think, so I just tell them what they need to hear. That's what I did with a picture of my mom when I needed a permission slip signed yesterday. I know you might think that that's messed up, but I love my mom and I don't use her copy for anything bad. In fact, a lot of times I use Not Bomb to help out Mom so she can relax. Mom and Dad think I help out a lot around the house, but to tell you the truth, most of the time it's just Not Mom doing what she'd be doing anyway. I don't even have to ask her. Anyway, today I needed a permission slip. I didn't want to bother real Mom, and yeah, I thought there was maybe a 50-50 chance that she'd say no. So I ducked around a corner from the office, shook her photo, and made Not Mom appear. "Hi, Mom," I said cheerfully. "Oh, hi, honey," she said, looking around, a little confused. She was actually a little shorter than real Mom this time, and her hair wasn't quite the right color. That was normal. Copies always have some little things that's wrong, or they don't quite work in the same way. This was okay, though. No one who didn't see Mom every day could tell the difference. Anyway, I knew I had to get her to focus before any more questions could start coming, like about how she got to my school in the middle of the day like this. "Come on, you were going to sign that form for that thing, remember?" I said, taking her hand and gently leading her to the office. "What thing is that?" she asked, giving me her suspicious mom look. "You know," I replied, "that thing I hate that's super boring, but it's also safe, and it's good for me, and educational." "Oh," she said brightly, "well, if you hate it and it's educational, then I definitely want to make you do it, sweetie. Let's go get your form signed." She walked with me to the office and signed the form without even reading it. If it was boring and safe and would teach me math or some crap, then that was good enough for Not Mom. Okay, yeah, Not Mom isn't really how real Mom is, but it sure feels like they're the same person sometimes. Not Mom and I walked out the back door together. After looking around to make sure that no one was there, I pulled out her picture. "Well, thanks, Mom," I said, "but Dad's coming to pick me up any second now, so—" I shook the picture firmly. Not Mom stood there, still smiling. "Oh, is that one of your instant pictures, honey? You know you don't really have to shake them like that to develop them. It can actually ruin the picture," she said, raising her finger like she did when she wanted me to know that she was telling me something extra important. I frowned and shook the picture again, a little longer and harder than before. Not Mom didn't disappear. I froze. There was only one reason why that would happen, as far as I knew. My cat Spiffy got hit by a car last year. It happened so fast, I never even got a chance to say goodbye. Dad said I shouldn't look, that the car messed Spiffy up real bad. So I went into my room, got out my box of pictures, and found the one I took of Spiffy. I shook it, and there he was, rubbing against my leg and meowing for pets. I cried, and I pet him, and told him he was a good kitty, and I said goodbye. I shook his picture again, and he didn't disappear. No matter how much I shook the picture, he didn't vanish. Not Spiffy is still around. I didn't know what else to do, so I just told Mom and Dad that I found a stray that looked just like Spiffy, and that he needed a home. I begged them to let me keep him, and they did, because they're really cool sometimes. Not Spiffy really is just like Spiffy, but he's still a copy. So he runs into walls every now and a few times he spazzed out and rolled around on the ground for a few seconds for no reason. But he's still basically Spiffy. Anyway, not Spiffy was how I realized my powers had an exception. If I make a copy of something that's dead, it doesn't disappear when I shake the photo again. Suddenly, I felt dizzy, afraid, and angry. I couldn't handle it. The only reason not Mom wouldn't have disappeared is that if my real mom must have died. I stumbled and fell onto the grass. Not Mom ran to me and tried to help, but I pushed her away. She looked hurt and confused, but I didn't care. I didn't care who saw or who might find out my secret. Not right then. I just started crying and screaming and pounding my fist into the grass. Son? I looked up. My dad was standing there outside the car, the door left open behind him. He looked from Not Mom to me. Dear, I think something's really wrong, Not Mom began. It's okay, honey, Dad said slowly, eyeing Not Mom curiously. Maybe he noticed the flaws in the copy. Give me a moment with him, okay? Not Mom nodded uncertainly, and Dad crouched down next to me, placing a hand on my shoulder. Dad, I choked out. I didn't know if he knew Mom was dead or not. I guessed not, because he wasn't surprised to see Not Mom standing there. Mom, Your mom is fine, son, Dad whispered into my ear as he leaned closer. She's also back home. I was just there a moment ago. Do you have the picture with you? I was stunned. Dad knew? He knew about me and what I could do? Slowly, I lifted the picture of Mom. Dad, you don't understand, I said as I held out the picture in a shaky hand. When a copy won't disappear, it means... Dad took the picture and shook it. Not Mom vanished. My jaw dropped. Dad smiled and hugged me tightly. It's okay. Your mom is okay, and I'm here now. I don't understand, Dad. Dad, I said, still holding on to him. If you knew what I could do, if you can do it too, why didn't you say anything? Dad chuckled, sounding a little nervous. Because I didn't know, kiddo. Not until just now, when I saw your mom here, wearing the clothes that she had on last week, when I just left her back at the house 5 minutes ago. And, of course, I have some experience spotting a copy. Dad and I talked on the way home. Dad said he developed, he makes dad jokes. He developed his powers when he was younger too, but it never occurred to him that they'd be hereditary because he'd never heard of anyone else who could do what we do. If Grandma or Grandpa had been able to make copies from pictures, Dad said he certainly never found out about it. I told him about Spiffy, and he was surprised. But he said I was wrong about not being able to vanish copies of things that were dead. He handed me a picture of Grandpa and told me to try it. I was scared, but he promised me it'd be okay, and I eventually tried it. A not Grandpa appeared. and I immediately shook the old photo before Grandpa could ask any questions. He vanished. I asked why it hadn't worked on not Spiffy and not Mom if it didn't have anything to do with the subject of the photo being dead, and he was silent for a minute. He seemed like he was thinking for a long time, and then finally he told me that he thought it was probably because I was still getting used to my power. It might have just happened because I was still growing and changing, like when your voice cracks all of a sudden because you started growing hair down there. That's what he said anyway. But now I wonder. Copies copies don't always work quite right. Sometimes, just every so often, not Spiffy spazzes out and rolls around on the floor like he's crazy. I'm Jeremy Brown, except sometimes I wonder if maybe I'm not Jeremy Brown.